Mr. Humboldt-Hippy here. We're in the redwoods in what should be public land, which is owned by the Humboldt Redwood Company. And they're, as you can see, the only ones allowed. Where the old growths are. In theory, the old growth redwoods are private property and off limits due to their being endangered and protected. They are endangered because they were cut down and driven off, as you just saw. And so the Bureau of Land Management rents the wilderness and the United States forest and the indigenous peoples' reservation lands to private interest groups of industry that can come in and clear cut or dig for gold or silver or whatever the case may be, at which point those things are businesses, and so they follow and have their own business rights, which are they now own or can close or put up gates and barriers and claim this as a private property. They can determine their own little bylaws on what happens on their private property out here in the middle of the wilderness, where they are now allowed to put up fences and be enforced with the United States Sheriff's crime prevention, the crime of trespassing in the United States. This is United States. That's United States. This is not a homeowner's fence. This is not a taxpayer United States citizen. What it is a corporate person which has corporation rights, which therefore supersedes and is at the very minimum equal to a human citizen rights. That means that they are able to claim this as individual property, and you are trespassing on their property. But their property is your property as a United States citizen. That's public land. And not only is it public land, it's being regulated for financial purposes in the name of specific indigenous peoples, which I don't know which part of any of that is true or not, but in theory, the Bureau of Land Management is supposed to be forking over billions of dollars a year to the tribes of America. And as far as I know, that doesn't happen. They've milked that money away and used it for retirement funds and different Ponzi schemes of the government, and that money's been gone for probably 50 years. So back to, why does Humboldt Redwood Company, Limited Liability Company, okay, out of Scotia, which these towns are the clear-cut towns. Scotia is a bankrupt town that basically doesn't exist. Scotia is owned by banks. They have had such bad mismanagement out here in the wilderness of these towns that they have actually been taken over by the banks, just like the Fannie Mae housing industries. Yes, if a tree falls in the forest, you can hear it. Something kind of loud just fell. Alright, I'm gonna go find some coffee. Remember, if you go out in the woods or wilderness, you're more than likely trespassing. It's a crime. This is a road to hundreds of miles of wilderness. It's supposed to be a Boy Scout camp. It's on the United States American map. This is blacktop. Okay, now American law says that this is America. there are no roads to your house. You understand that simplicity of logic, right? You have what's called a driveway. That means that this would be the public land ran by county, city, state, etc. And then you would have what's called a sidewalk, and you'd have a driveway, and you would drive onto your driveway, at which point people would be on your property. See what's going on here, right? This is a public road. And they just put up this fence and said, oh, this is actually a barrier. That's very questionable legality there. It's very, very serious crime is what is going on. Is they are what's called squatting this property. And there's just really no one to challenge the right, except some old dirty hippie hugging a tree type of culture stereotype, which due to that stereotype is laughed out of courtrooms and out of any street corner where they happen to be screaming with a cardboard sign. That's not going to help in a courtroom of legality, of lawyers, of a billion-dollar company that is using, no doubt, CalPERS funds and different people's retirement funds and different things, which is true. This is what these towns did. They totally just bankrupted their towns, and all the people who put money into the city coffers lost their properties and their houses, and that's where all their taxpayers go, is to your city council to improve the roads. And this road should be public property right now, and this man's got a key. He's going to lock me out if I go in there. I mean, lock me in or whatever, Look into this, people. See what you can do. Because America should be public for everybody. And if the Humboldt Redwood Company, Limited Liability Company, has rights to own private parcels of American wilderness, then you should too. So